You're on.
Okay. I would like to call the regular meeting of the Harlem Township Zoning Commission to order. Ms. Aruba, would you call the roll, please?
Yeah. Mike Kavler,
Here.
Jenny Manson,
Here.
Freddie Hopper is not here. Tom Need,
Here.
Louis Greenwell,
Here.
and Maureen Snowden. Here.
Maureen.
Sign in there, Maureen.
You want to get paid? Sign your name.
Thank you. And since Brittany is not here this evening, Maureen, our alternate, will serve on the commission. When it comes time to vote, Maureen, you have full authority to vote on any issue, any motion that's coming up tonight. And with that said, we'll go ahead and move forward with the agenda. Ashley Zaruba, our zoning assistant, is here tonight, but we don't have any other members of the staff present this evening. And at the present time, we have no members of the public here in person. I'm assuming that means we don't have any new applications to consider. For purposes of conduct of the meeting, for those, if there's anyone who, well, we've got Bob and Brittany. Please simply follow the rule of waiting for recognition. We will give you the opportunity to speak. And I will, at this point in time, ask that you keep your microphones muted, but you can turn them on at the appropriate times as we go through the meeting. If you have something to say, and then during the public participation, if there's other members of the public present, we will invite them to participate at that time. First item on our agenda after the receiving of new applications is review of minutes. So let's go ahead and take care of that. I don't know exactly who submitted comments to Brittany, but I know that she received a lot of feedback, and I didn't get back online again today, so I haven't checked it today to see what the final outcome of that was.
Yeah.
4? Okay, good. Then with the minutes that we have and the recommendations for any updates or changes, they've all been attended to. Does anybody see anything that was missing that you submitted for a correction?
You submitted corrections online.
I did too.
Okay. Then I'll make a motion to approve the workshop meeting minutes of February 9th as corrected.
A second.
All right, it's been moved and seconded that these minutes be approved as corrected. Any further discussion on the motion? Moved by Joni, seconded by Tom. Hearing none, and with all those in favor of approving the minutes, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed? No. Minutes are approved, and thank you. Move forward.
I do have one question about the minutes. It was not clear to me that we ever made a clear distinction between a comprehensive plan and a master plan or a strategic guide. And I wasn't going to make that a big deal in the minutes because it was not going to be fixed in the last the old minute. But I think just for our own benefit, we should know how that all fits together.
The trustees, I think that's the last trustee.
I didn't hear that, but okay. What did they say?
Go back.
Okay.
I think trustee Trainer gave his opinion of what the difference between a strategic plan and a comprehensive plan and a master plan.
It was like opposite of what we had
And it
heard.
may have been opposite of what, when you look up online, it may
Yeah.
be different. I would tend to say, let's ask Regional Planning Commission, ask Scott, since he deals with 15 comprehensive plans on a regular basis, ask him to give us some something to go on,
Okay, that's fair.
As we go through this process of updating our comprehensive plan, we'll discuss that
especially
with him.
if they're. gonna
At this
have-
point, when I've asked him about it, his comment back to me, not at a meeting, but his comment back to me was, they're the same thing.
Okay.
That's the way they've always operated. And, although today he did go on to say that they seem to be evolving into something different. And the master plan is now being viewed as something that would be 20 to 30 years in terms of projecting a future, whereas the comprehensive plan is shorter term, 5. Now, that's not an official definition anywhere. That's just what he says seems to be kind of what he's been aware of as evolving. That doesn't necessarily mean that's coming from here.
Just recall.
Yeah.
The strategic plan, you know what that is. Comprehensive plan is for the entirety of the township. And it's kind of a broad overreaching. The master plan can be applied to just smaller pieces of the township. And it's very, very detailed.
Almost like a campus master plan.
Yeah,
You think, that's how I think of it,
Yeah.
as a master plan for a very specific, or public works,
yes,
or a very specific part of the township.
yes, that's how they delineated that the master plan had much, much more detail in it than what the comprehensive plan would, and it could apply to a smaller.
And that would not,
subset.
that would be consistent also with what comments Scott was making. He was talking historically in Delaware County and for township purposes, master plan and comprehensive plan have been the same thing. But that's not to say that it continues to be the same in the future, because when we last developed the 2020 comprehensive plan, it was referred to interchangeably. Sometimes it was referred to as the master plan, sometimes it was referred to as the comprehensive plan. They just use the terms interchangeably.
I can see though how you would need a much more detailed plan once you really have something set aside.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Because the comprehensive plan is not very
vision.
detailed. It's more
No,
general
it's
styles
not.
and, that kind of thing. It's not.
so
We're going to talk about architecture, design and street design and plantings and those sorts.
and 10 years from now, I'm sure we'll have the definition understood clearly.
Oh, yeah.
But
That's how long it takes.
But they'll be changing.
May
again.
be, yeah. Yeah, I remember when I worked for the State Department, it used to say, well, whatever we put in place before it actually becomes something that works on a daily basis and people understand what it is, it'll be 10 years. And by then we change it again.
Yeah.
So that was an interesting comment coming from my boss.
So the only concern I have at this point is that the zoning resolution by law refers back to, I think, a comprehensive plan. I'd have to reread the ORC. Doesn't refer to a master plan.
Correct.
Refers back to a comprehensive plan. And so whatever we call our comprehensive plan has to be what we, when
Well,
the zoning changes.
And we're
compatible with.
required by Ohio Revised Code, zoning commission is required to make that recommendation to the trustees. And then they decide whether they're going to adopt it or not.
We're required to have a comprehensive plan.
Yes.
In order to have zoning, we have to have a comprehensive plan.
It's under the revised
That
code.
refers back to it, right?
Yeah,
So
correct.
we don't have to have a master plan.
No,
We
do
have to have a
not.
comprehensive plan.
So I think that the two terms are in fact evolving to mean something different than than historically we've used the terms. So I don't disagree at all with what you said, and that's what Holly has told me too, personally as well as she said. I think she said in one of the meetings that we were participating in too. Same thing. I don't know whether that helps or not, Tom, but I think that's where we are.
I think it's going to keep coming back for discussion. For now, it's
So
But for our purposes, from this point forward, we will only be referring to what we're working on with Scott as the comprehensive plan.
That's fine with me.
That's our term.
Okay.
Okay, down further on the agenda now. We've got, under new business, definition of barn. This was, what, Joni has submitted. So let's take a quick look at that and see if what we've got here is acceptable or if there's any need for, and, let me ask before I go any further, actually, you have this left on your computer by chance? If not, would you bring it up?
This definition is the same as in Delaware Township's definition. And there was another one that Ashley found that also that was essentially the same. Word for word, except that it didn't referred to as previously defined in the zoning resolution.
Oh, okay.
Can someone remind me, what was the problem we were trying to solve by having a definition of barn?
Barns can be taller than
It
residents.
was a height requirement,
It's a height thing.
I think, okay, it's that,
You
it
turn
wasn't,
into a house, now your house doesn't match the height requirements for residences.
yeah. It wasn't a dwelling unit.
No.
Mm.
What,
It was.
the reason it came up, Mike brought it up as an issue because someone in the
Yeah,
township bought a barn, they moved it onto their property, and they were going to be using it as an accessory building. And there was no because they just called it a barn. We didn't have this definition. If this definition had been in place, Mike could very well have told him, you can't use that. You have to reduce the height of the barn.
because the structure that they had was not being used to house livestock or storage of crops.
That's
It
correct.
No
wasn't-
agricultural purpose.
Right.
It had no agriculture purpose.
I was trying to remind myself, it wasn't about using it as another dwelling unit on the property.
No, it wasn't.
It was about the height requirement.
It was a height.
It could become an issue further because people do convert barns into dwellings.
But no
Yeah.
matter,
At some point, it could become an issue.
but-
It could.
but no matter what, I mean, you could convert a garage into a living structure as well. But for that, you can only have one dwelling unit per lot, right?
Correct.
So there's already some language that keeps us from having a barn being used as a
Yeah,
home.
unless we change
Well,
the zoning.
except if there's no other dwelling on that,
If there's no other dwelling, yeah.
they
yeah,
just
correct.
convert the barn.
Yeah,
But then it's no longer a barn,
Right.
and
and they'd have to,
if the height is an issue, they would have to go to the BZA and get a variance.
yeah.
Which they
Okay,
potentially
right.
could do.
Okay, I couldn't remember what problem we were trying to solve, but that
And the
answers it.
BZA could grant them a height variance.
So I can see a situation where you have a historical barn. It's not, subdivided down and so that it's on a standalone lot by itself, and somebody wants to convert it to a dwelling unit. I think that's something we would want people to do, to keep an historic barn, even though it doesn't meet the height requirements. I mean, that's a scenario I would think they wouldn't want to preclude, but if they could go and get a variance, it's.
Yep. That's what they
Yeah,
have to do.
That would
Sure,
be,
sure.
that would be the way to resolve it.
Yeah. So would there be a large cost to going for the BZA?
I don't know what they
Uh,
charge it.
Somebody from
I don't know what they're charging this year.
I don't know.
Did you give us?
What's the charge for a BZA variance now? Well, let me look it up. I think it should
The
be.
zoning permits are like $80 or so, like,
Yeah.
they're,
Oh.
Keep somebody from doing it.
Yeah.
They couldn't
I don't think we got a
save a
new
barn.
list of prices for this year. That was actually something I was gonna ask Ashley about. Take all of our lists of stuff.
$500. It's $500 to get a variance or a conditional use permit through the BZA.
they'd be spending a lot more than that to
Renovate.
renovate.
Yeah.
A heck of a lot.
Well, their permits with the Delaware County are gonna run. a lot
Okay, with
more than that.
regard to our definition on barn, do we want to make any changes in it?
You're asking me?
I'm just saying, I'm asking it as a general question for the zoning commission. If not, I'm ready to move on.
Yeah, I have a couple of deletions I'd like to make. Where it starts an accessory structure, it's not necessarily by the definition of accessory. A barn does not have to be on a piece of property with a primary house. It can be on a parcel by itself. And then it's no longer an accessory structure. So I would just say a structure. And then I would remove upon a lot customarily used, because I don't think that's needed. A structure for the housing of livestock and or the storage of crops and or machinery or equipment used in bona fide agricultural activities. And then as defined in this article under, in caps and underlined, agriculture. That's what the definition is. And it's,
But we're in the definition, Article 4. So
But it's
this
not
thing is
it was-
previously defined in this article. Because agriculture comes before barn. It will be before.
you can
And-
say it's still previously.
I would say that this language seems to have been part of the original Delaware County language provided to townships.
Yeah, it probably
It's
was.
wonderful, but I don't think it reads clearly. So that's what I'm trying to fix.
I don't have a problem really taking the word accessory out. It's a structure. Doesn't have to be an accessory building. And as Tom said, we do have some lots potentially where a barn exists on the lot.
Okay.
And they are using it as a barn. So that part of it, and then Tom, you were suggesting another change.
And then upon a lot customarily used, is that a lot that's customarily used?
Okay, I would take out
Structure.
be willing to take out upon a lot. So that it just goes a structure customarily used
Yeah.
for.
Yeah.
And I
Okay,
would say, well, okay,
Because the upon a lot, I think, fit better when it was an accessory structure.
all right. So it reads a structure customarily used for the housing of livestock and or for the storage of crops and or machinery or equipment used in bona fide agricultural activities. Now, from this point, Tom had another suggested change.
because we don't define agricultural activities. We define agriculture.
Which lists all the activities.
Yes, but
Okay.
it's agriculture. That's the word that you're looking for. That's my only point. So if
But
I think it's fine.
it's a true statement that the agricultural activities are previously defined in Article 4.
It's accurate, I think.
That's an accurate statement, that they are previously defined.
There's a bunch of them,
We don't have to tell them
the whole paragraph.
exactly which part of the article where they're described, but they are they are described.
Oh, and one thing I forgot to state at the beginning, all of these potential changes were submitted to Scott Sanders and also to Holly, and they both reviewed them, and the report that came back was everything's fine. There's nothing in here that was of a concern to either one of them.
I'm sure.
And same with for Scott, he's talking about the staff, he and the staff reviewed it, so there wasn't an issue there. I just, there was a request that I contact Scott, so I forgot to mention that I had accomplished that. Okay. If we don't make a change in that last part, then the definition for barn would read a structure customarily used for the housing of livestock and or for the storage of crops and or machinery or equipment used in bona fide agricultural activities as previously defined in this article.
I'm fine with that.
Do you need the word custom?
I'm sorry, say that again.
Well,
Just help me understand, I'm just looking for understanding customarily.
you can also have an office in a barn. if you're keeping track of like stable matters and stuff like that. But the barn is the customarily used for, you know, the housing of the livestock. Mhm.
It doesn't hurt the definition.
It doesn't.
All right,
Doesn't help.
then, specifically on the definition of barn, could I have a motion to approve this and recommend it? Well, recommended for further consideration, because we're not at a point yet where we're going to update. We've got, if we go through all these, and then we're going to get to the point that we'll look at the possibility of setting
Hearing,
a hearing for all of this at the same time.
okay. I make a motion to approve for now the definition of barn as a structure customarily used for the housing of livestock and or for the storage of crops and or machinery or equipment used in bona fide agricultural activities as previously defined in this article.
Second,
Yeah, I'll say.
Louis, seconded by Louis. All right. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, signify by saying aye.
All right.
Aye.
Okay, next item is. Oh, I want to come back, actually. I didn't have included. Tree stand, but Louis has submitted a definition and actually received it in time to run copies off. And we have that here for, again, possible addition to the Article 4. This would be tree stand, an aggregation of trees or other growth occupying a specific area, sufficiently uniform in species, composition, size, age, arrangement, and condition as to be distinguished from other growth on adjoining areas. That's a tree stand. Looks fine to me. I'd like to move adoption. Well, let's go on to look at significant tree stand. An area of contiguous mature woods greater than 5,000 square feet in size, 5,000 square feet being approximately an eighth of an acre. Where over half of the canopy is provided by hardwoods with a diameter breast height greater than 24 inches.
So the
That's
the two variable things would be the 24 inches and the 5,000 square feet. Like those would, does an eighth of an acre make sense in Harlem Township for a significant tree stand?
It won't take into account tree rows necessarily. You can certainly have significant trees in a tree row.
I think that'd be a different. Would
Yeah,
that be-
well, we
would that be a
have
different
fence
definition?
rows with some
Which-
very large trees scattered in different places. There's some right across the street from our house.
Yeah.
And some, there's a few of those still standing in various places. If it's up to the county engineer, they'd all be gone.
I know, I disagree with the county engineer on all
I
of
know.
those.
Any comments on either one of these, tree stand or significant tree stand?
Well, I did a search on significant tree stands, I think I think it's actually tree stands in the resolution, and it shows up 4 times in 4 different articles. But
All planned districts?
all planned districts, yes. It's in residential conservation districts, mixed use districts, County Line Road District, and the mixed service, whatever district, residential district, business residential district. But then, you know, if we define significant tree stands, then we have existing hedge and tree lines, existing tree lines, small flowering trees, and young canopy trees, shade trees, wooded areas, existing tree lines, woodland buffers, forest edges, And it goes on and on. And I don't see much of a difference between a significant tree stand and all the other ways of describing trees in the township. So I would come back to, if we simply call it trees and we give a credit over and above the existing 20% or 50%, whatever's in the overlay district, then everybody knows what a native tree is. I don't think you need to define it.
So are you basically indicating that you don't think there's a need to have a definition for tree stand?
I think
Well, significant tree stand.
it's in the resolution 4 times. And if we're not going to define tree, there's any reason to define tree, is it? Then we should be careful with those 4 places where it does appear and either change that to existing trees or something like that. So that it doesn't appear in the, it's not in the verbiage of the,
Yeah, if we define it, then that definition would have to be applied in those articles.
those 4 articles.
Yeah, my concern is that there may be something that comes to us for rezoning that is going to have some nice tree areas, but they're not gonna all be 24 inches
In that-
around.
Yeah.
Or, yeah, in
Well-
diameter, and
Right.
they're gonna be scattered perhaps, so that they're not,
They'll be of mixed type and variety and size,
yeah,
but we still want to keep them. We want to
yeah. we would-
encourage or
Yeah,
I mean, in a lot of farm fields, across from me, is a single oak tree right in the middle of the field.
that oak tree that's across from you.
Because it was used as shade for the draft animals.
Right.
And the farm.
Right. That is one of my favorite trees in the township.
It is, and it's not a tree stand,
right.
so it wouldn't be protected.
Right.
So. I know you spent a lot of time on this.
I did not spend a lot of time. I'm not super invested.
Let me
We-
just add that.
Have these definitions.
One-
If we
one
want to use them, we
comment.
can. If we don't,
One comment that I got back from Holly relating to net developable acres. And I don't know how to extrapolate that to this, but she did make the comment, she's very happy that we took that out of any consideration. Took out the terminology tree stand. But she may not even be aware that we've got that already in our, and if we put in a definition, we create maybe a bigger issue than if we don't have a definition.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of the other trees, the planted street trees, are 3 dBH, I think. Or 2 dBH,
Really?
yeah,
Okay.
the stuff that you're planning is going to be a lot smaller.
yeah, so we're talking about a 2-foot diameter. That's a major
Mhm.
tree. And
It's,
1 foot
that's
is-
why it's significant.
yeah, well,
Because it's big.
but we're saying it's not a significant tree. It's a significant stand,
Correct.
you know,
Right.
a collection of trees.
Well, there's a lot of houses that have been built in areas that would be considered to have been significant tree stands. Just go down Gorsuch Road and you'll pass numerous
Mhm.
houses
Yeah.
that are surrounded by trees
Mhm.
that, I mean, they had to go in there and now they didn't cut them all down, obviously. They liked it as a tree lot, and they wanted to keep that, but they had to remove trees in order to build the house. I don't know, it may be less complicated to not have a definition than to have one. Because then we can deal with all those other kinds of things that we really want to look at protecting when they bring in a development plan. We do the analysis, we look at what's on the property and hey, we want this preserved.
Yeah, and it could be that it's going to vary depending on the lot.
Yes.
Yes.
What's on every lot can't be defined the way that we're trying to maybe define things, and we leave that preservation flexible.
That's what I'm in favor.
Yeah. I think flexibility is maybe gonna be key to saving more than if we go with a strict definition.
And these definitions are just definitions. We're not saying how they're gonna be used. They were just definitions, just to orient
Yeah,
ourselves.
but if we have it and we use the term
Right,
in
Then
the
it
zoning
would be-
somewhere, then
Right.
that becomes the definition.
right, right.
Otherwise, it's what's in Webster's dictionary. That's our other source for definition.
Half the time when you look up tree stand, the internet thinks you're looking for a deer stand in a tree.
That's true.
It's like, that's not what I was looking for.
Or a Christmas tree stand.
Or, yeah, Christmas. tree
Okay.
stand.
So
Having fun. Credits.
And we can still do that.
Which we could still do without defining, without having a definition for what is a tree stand. We
Which they
could,
may not be able to meet, but they
Right.
may want to save some.
what we would be
big
able to
old-
say is, we would look at the lot and say, we would draw a square around this stand of trees or this part of a forested area. That's what we want to protect. And we'll call that tree preservation protection area A. And then another one over here will be B, and it'll be custom for that development.
Just preserve it.
Mhm.
Yeah, then we would try to,
I
now,
think
that whole credit calculation and definition and explanation, that is something we still have to work on, but, and, yeah.
I think we started saying we needed to define.
and that's how we got to this, I think, yes.
Yeah, because I think the trees, the existing trees can be included in the open space in the project. So if it's 50% open space and you happen to have 60% tree cover, you don't have to cut 10% of those down to meet the open space, but you will get credit for that additional 10%. So that you don't cut them down, and that the 40% of residential area, you'll be able to build as many as you would if it were 50%. That's my take on it. And I think you save a tree, but the houses are packed more tightly together. Yeah, that's the trade-off. And that's okay with me.
Yeah, and that's what we're looking to do, is preserve as much as we can.
So if we decide that this is not going to take effect, then do we have to go back where we use this term significant tree stand and change that to something?
But you said we just use tree stand.
We use significant tree stand 4 times.
We did, okay.
Do we need to just call it existing trees, or leave it and just?
Well, at this point, we can go into, we're going to be going through each of those articles as we look at the future. I don't know exactly what recommendations are going to be coming forward, but my understanding was there's going to be some changes offered and encouraged in the overlay districts, and that could very well be one of them. To do it right now, I don't think we have to do it at this
Yeah.
At
and-
this point.
And Tom, based on what the way the conversation's going here, I think if we just leave significant tree stands in
As
there as
undefined.
they are and leave them undefined,
And
that gives us
potentially,
flexibility to,
we can make
to
the
define
decision,
them
to
as part
pull
of
that
it.
language out altogether in the future, potentially. Okay, so we're not going to have a definition.
I think what it does, leaving it in right now, is that it makes property owners aware that that is something we will look at.
I would point something else out just for the record, not to act on right now, and how we, if we come back to read these 4 articles later on, 3 of them, when they deal with significant tree stands, it's followed by as determined by the zoning commission. That's the verbiage, just straight, significant tree stands as determined by the zoning commission. In 3 out of the 4 texts. In the 4th text, it says significant tree stands as determined by the township trustees.
How did that happen?
I wonder how that
They-
happened.
Just saying.
Okay, that, whichever one that is, that needs to be changed too.
So, as I'm saying,
Because they
we're not gonna
look
do
at
it,
that.
we're not gonna do it now, but how do we,
Look, if we're making these other changes, which article was that?
that's in Article 35, the County Line Road. overlay district.
Okay, which is one of the ones on our list that we're gonna change something else in.
Yeah, they're all four on here.
And that was on page 3508.
I don't have any problem with changing that to match the other three
To make it
districts,
match.
yeah.
Okay.
I thought we.
And that would be easy to
Who's gonna
explain.
Who's gonna remember?
That was going to be easy to explain to the trustees. It's 3508, did you say?
That's what, yes.
The page,
Page number, okay. 3508. What paragraph?
Did you find it?
Top of the page of the E. The very end.
Oh, up here at the top. Now it's
Okay.
under E.
As determined by,
Yeah. Okay. So,
you want to mark it in red? I can't help.
and then the other ones, it says as determined by the zoning commission, right?
That,
Article 35.
it's what Article 33, 34, and 36 say.
That's, well, we're already in that.
We're in 35 already.
We're in that because we're
What
changing.
No,
section
no,
are
no,
we
no, no. We're in Article 35, 33, 34, and 36 have the same terminology, but as determined by the zoning
Correct,
commission.
right.
Yeah.
But 35, what section is the?
3507E.
That's one we're changing already.
Yeah, we're changing it already.
Oh, so we just need to change the last part of the sentence.
Ooh,
How easy is
Yeah,
that?
it's already changed. I don't remember.
thought we were
That,
just
it
working
may
in-
already be deleted. Let's see. 33, 35,
Oh, yeah,
3507.
we did delete that already.
Yep, the whole thing is
Well, we
deleted.
deleted
It's
all-
already being deleted, Tom.
We
oh,
deleted that,
deleted all of it.
we deleted that for all of them.
Yep,
So did we get it? Definition of terms.
and it's been in significant tree stands is being deleted in the other ones, Tom.
So we can't-
That's
so we
why,
can't have a definition.
that's why Holly made the statement she made also then, because we're taking it out here as well.
So 30, I'm sorry.
3307D. Yep, it's taken out, Tom. It's already deleted.
So we're no longer,
3407,
we're
yeah.
no longer going to be considering, trees and, slopes and stuff. We're only considering
No,
this stuff here.
yeah, slopes are still part of it, but trees.
Well, what we've made reference to, we agreed we were taking out that language.
Yeah,
But we're,
And we were putting it in net developable acreage as defined in Article 4. And then the definition that we have doesn't have trees, it doesn't have
It doesn't
tree
have-
stands in it.
It doesn't have
So-
slopes either, does it?
So we've already addressed the issue. I didn't realize it until I looked it up.
But
It's
I
got
think
slope.
It does, yeah,
slopes greater than 20%, including ravines shown to be a critical resource. Delaware
yeah,
County
up from the
Resource
bottom, 1, 2.
so the only thing that is no longer covered at all is
Tree.
trees.
But it's still got floodplains, got hydrology,
Existing bodies of water,
wetland vegetation, poorly drained soils,
hydritic soil.
all that good stuff,
Okay,
just trees.
So nobody's gonna pay attention to trees.
all right,
They
so
don't have to, they won't.
let's take a look at, we did barn. And the next one on the agenda is the definition of net developable area, paren acreage. We've gone through this before. It should be, unless I missed something
One,
from
two,
previous
three,
discussion, there shouldn't be, I don't want to go back and go over the same thing again. We've done it twice already. The third time it's not necessary.
But under D, it should be rights of way, should be hyphenated twice.
Between rights and of.
Utility rights of way. There's a hyphen missing.
Yep.
Did I get it all? That's the question.
The wording, I think, is fine. You even spelled Mississippi right. SIPPI.
Yeah, because we had discussion about, and then, and Joni reminded me, because I had made the change and then didn't take it out before I submitted it. I had Joni review it, and so we decided not to put jurisdictional wetlands as regulated by as a separate item, because that goes with A, it's all together.
Yeah.
That didn't, we discussed it and decided not to change it.
I think the definition's good.
Do we have a reason for the only last question I have, area, parens acreage? Because in the resolution, I think it says net developable acreage or acres.
I think in different places it might be either way. I think that's why we went with both.
Okay,
I was trying to make, I think that didn't change what was currently in the definition. That's what was there. And I think Joni's right that it is used differently at times, but that was the reason, I think, for saying area and then putting acreage in parentheses.
and should that be capped as part of the definition, as part of the heading of the definition?
The word acreage should be capitalized instead of small.
I'm asking, yeah, I mean, if it's part of the definition, I guess it should.
Yeah,
All
it
caps?
isn't currently, I don't think, but,
Well, I
No
don't
reason it
know.
couldn't
Now, I thought about that too when I was looking at it, that maybe that should be the case. Well, I don't know if we got anything else. Yep, it should be, because here we got accessory use or structure, and structures all caps.
but in different places in other articles.
That developable area, and then it says the land area measured in acres, so it's gonna be. Can't be anything else if that's what you're measuring. Right?
If
So,
somebody is reading a different article and comes across net developable acreage, they have that as a definition.
The way the term is used in some articles, it's called net developable acreage. Some other articles, it's called net developable area.
So then it should be.
Area / acreage.
Yes, it should be.
Or with a slash instead of a parens.
Yeah,
Yes.
like slash
so
and capital.
at the beginning, we've got net developable area in all caps.
Right.
And then we will change where we've got the parentheses acreage. And put that in all caps.
Right. Instead of,
We're talking about changing the parentheses to a slash between the area and the acreage.
If that's the reason you have.
That's not the way that some of these other definitions are. So if we're gonna, I'm not saying it just makes another inconsistency in the document. We can do it that way. Every other place where it's in parentheses, but it's always in all caps.
Yeah.
well, you do it that way and be consistent.
Parentheses.
And all these other items, they're in parentheses. And it's underlined.
In caps underlined.
All caps underlined. Would you change that, please? Oh, you already did. Okay. And make
But
it,
you want acreage.
and now make it red. Yeah.
Make all of them underline.
That way
Better.
it'll be noted as a change. Thank you. Okay. Thank you.
I would have to say that the way it's written up in the existing definitions is much easier to read than when you put the A's, B's, and C's all run together in one big paragraph.
Well, that's because I copied, and when you copy it and you paste it in, I don't have a Word document. So when I did this, I copied it from the resolution, but this is the way it comes out. When you copy PDF and paste it into Word, this is the way it comes out. So the formatting, when Scott does it, will match what's there.
So
Okay, this is much easier to read.
the lowercase b parentheses or A, B, C, D, will those be bullets?
They're not in bullets in the original.
But they could be.
Do we have any bullets in the
Uh,
definitions?
I don't think so.
They don't, okay, all right, never mind.
It'll just, all that'll happen is that he'll only go in and make the changes that we identify in red. Everything else will stay the same. A, B, C, D, and E. It'll be done that way.
Yep.
And no, they're not in bold.
And another inconsistency, Maureen, under B, we have floodplains areas that lie within, not acreage that lies within. So we're all over the place. Covering our bits.
Measure, hearing. It's,
Yes, doesn't have to be measured in acreage. So far as formatting, I wasn't able to I did this. I didn't have this document in Microsoft Word and I couldn't format it the same way, but when we send it to Scott, it'll get formatted to match what's here.
Very good.
Okay. So net developable area, we've come to an agreement on that one. Now, condition of approval.
We want to vote on this, or we voted on bonds, or
Okay, I'll make a motion to approve the changes to the definition for net developable area and acreage.
I'll second that.
Okay, I've got a motion to accept the definition under definition of terms for net developable area acreage with the changes as we have discussed tonight.
Tom seconded.
Thank you. I was trying to remember who seconded it. Moved
Yep.
by Joni, seconded by Tom. All in favor?
Aye.
Signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. All right. Well, the next item, misplaced my agenda, I've covered it up or something. It,
Well, this is mine, but you can use it.
what happened to mine? It disappeared.
I'll share.
I may have stuck it underneath
very
here.
nice of you, Jenny.
I had it.
Willing to share.
Yeah, all right. The next item though is we are going to revise wording in procedures to apply for mixed use. That's the one that's the way it's listed, but numerically that's 31, right? It's 3108 condition of approval. And we're deleting everything and use,
On 3206, the link you sent.
Yeah,
I just want to make sure I was pulling up the right thing. For the video.
well,
3108 and 3206.
Are they the exact same text?
yeah, it's 3108, 3206, condition of approval. And then all of the existing language is deleted. The new language reads the same for both, and it's the one that Holly submitted to Joni as recommended.
Good for me.
And that is the language that she and some lawyer folks created when the trustees asked them.
To do
Asked
it.
her. Yeah,
Yeah, so these would be the ones in that we would submit for the change. And they indicated at the trustee meeting that they wanted, and because we're doing this, we thought we'd go ahead and do everything else at the same time. But they wanted this, they saw this as a priority.
well, yeah, because they wanted this in place before an application comes to us
Right.
David,
on these.
one question on section 3206. It says Article 31, should say Article 32 in Roman numerals.
I'm sorry, Tom, I haven't found what you're referring
In the
to.
bold, at the top.
3206 is missing an I. Where's this article? That's-
Oh. 3206.
You find it
Gotta
in.
say Article 32.
Found it,
It says 31.
Oh, I got you. I'm sorry, I wasn't following what you were saying. The Roman numeral number is incorrect.
on 32.
What he does.
Good job.
Yeah. This one is the one that has to be changed. It should be 32. Because it is section 32. I wish we'd stuck with the Arabic numbers for everything. But historically, we've always had these Roman numerals that we use.
Yeah.
Referring to the article.
And so does every other township that I guess.
Yeah, that's right. Thank you for catching that. Okay, so we'll make that change. All right. Then with this in mind,
I make a motion to approve the new language for condition of approval in Articles 31 and 32.
Second.
seconded by Louis, moved by Joni. Further discussion? Okay, hearing none. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay, opposed, no. Motion's approved. All right, now, the next one, we're down to the articles 33, 34, 35, and 36. We're making the same change in all these. They're not on separate pages. You had seen these last month, and there's no changes that were recommended. All we're doing is making it consistent and making reference back to net developable area. Now here we should change, since we're changing it in the definition, the word acreage should be in all caps. Could you go ahead and make that change, please, Ashley? Same thing in all four of them.
So if we just look at 3407E, the new text, the third line, the end of the third line down. Density shall be calculated on the net developable acreage of tracts. Should we say net developable area, parens acreage? And should we change that in all four of them? Just,
This isn't capped, so this is just saying that, this isn't a definition kind of thing.
no, but it refers back to the definition, and it's, again, it's, it's not exactly the way the definition is called out. It's not a terrible thing. I'm just saying.
The last line says net developable acreage is defined in Article 4, Section 401, net developable area acreage. So I don't think it's necessary to change anything.
Well, some of them say, the others say per net developable acre. So it depends upon, that one is worded differently than the others.
Yeah,
Kind
I
of
didn't
strange
notice that
why it's
either.
done that way, but it
We
is,
don't use net developable area in any of these except for the
except for the first one, and that's in a table. And of course, this doesn't look like a table here, but in the document it is, again, because I copied it and tried to put it somewhere where I can edit it. I can't edit in PDF.
Right.
And buy that software, and the township didn't buy it for me. I don't know how much that costs. At one time I looked at the price and decided, oh, no, I'm not gonna buy that. It was $300.
Yeah.
Acreage area.
I don't know.
I think it's clear enough.
Yeah, I'm not sure that we need to make any change in that either. All right. Then I'll make a motion that we would accept these changes for Articles 33, Articles 34, Article 35, and Article 36. Is there a second?
I'll say.
Seconded by Louis. Further discussion on the motion.
And actually, you've capitalized acreage after, thank you.
And then the copy that we will use is the copy that we're seeing here on the screen. That well, as we continue to move the process forward. Okay.
Call for the vote.
Oh, yes, on this one, I haven't done that yet, have I? Okay, thank you. I moved and seconded by Louis. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All right,
All opposed, no. Motion is approved. Okay.
Thank you.
Now that we've got those, then we can look at the possibility of introducing an application to amend the text of the township zoning resolution. And this would be revisions in Articles 4 regarding the definition of barn, regarding the definition of net developable area. It says acres here, but it should say area. Also revisions to the following: 31.08, 32.06, 33.07, D, 34.07E, 35.07E, and 36.08E.
Do you need a motion for that? Or are you doing?
This is the potential application, yeah. So with this as an application, it would be HTZC 2601. This is our first one. So I'm bringing this forward with the recommendation that we set a hearing date for this. These changes will be submitted to regional planning, and regional planning will generate the documents that will go to the trustees.
April 6th. April 6th.
6. That will be our
That
first,
would be the first meeting in April.
that is the day after Easter.
we can do, if we want, March 23rd. And just hold a special quickie hearing and be done and gone.
Yeah, I don't think I'm here that week, but that's fine.
So that's 21 days. You can get it published in time
Call a special meeting.
23rd.
on the 23rd, so that would move it forward a couple of weeks quicker for the trustees, and then, I mean, I don't know that they would get it any quicker
Yeah, they'll still get it on their meeting.
unless they wanted to have a special meeting and schedule their hearing.
Is that enough time for Delaware County to do what they need to do?
They won't meet, regional planning won't meet until the fourth Thursday.
Well, this is just before the fourth Thursday. But maybe not enough time for them,
It wouldn't be enough time for them to get it on the agenda.
even if we told them we were holding the meeting ahead of time and kind of.
But we wouldn't
They
get it
wouldn't
back.
receive it.
We could do it on the 30th. If you wanted to do it the week before.
If we don't want to wait till April 6th, we could do it on the 30th. And now that I'm looking at my calendar, I will be out of town on April the 6th. That doesn't mean you can't have the meeting. Of course you can.
How many
Hearing.
people have our March 30th?
I think.
April, March 30th.
Just look at that.
March 30th. I'm fine to do it on the 30th.
You too.
Okay.
I'm available.
So
And we would,
I'll just need somebody to run the video, cause I won't be here on the 30th.
I can do it. Assuming the logins are.
just,
Yeah.
is there
We can get
password?
things set up, you
And
just
we're-
have to
push.
Play. wherever
The
we-
Push
purpose
play,
will be, we're gonna have one focus that night. We're not gonna have other items on the agenda. They'll come, if there's other items that need to come forward,
They'll be in April.
it'll be on April sixth, and I'll prepare the agenda before I leave so that you can have it, Joni.
Okay.
Just,
I'll be working that morning. I just can't be there the evening, so.
Yeah,
I'll have
no, that's
everything
fine.
Set up, you just have to start and stop the video essentially.
Okay.
I'll have it ready for you.
You wanted to
that
say-
sounds good. Let's plan to do that then. Let's set the hearing for March 30. At what time do you want to do it? You want to do it at the same time, 7:30?
Can we do it earlier?
We could do it earlier
do
if it works on everybody's calendar. It would work on
I
mine.
could make 7.
7 would be better. Earlier the better, especially if it's gonna be short. Let's not.
It
wait
should
till
be
7.
short. Unless we have a crowd. All right, let's do it. March 30th at 7 will be the date and time for the hearing.
6:30? 7,
Then 6:30 is really tough for me.
okay, 7. So this is hearing.
Okay,
Keep
now I
going.
would like a motion then to set that as the hearing for application HTCC 2601.
So move.
Second,
Moved by Joni, seconded by Louis. The hearing on application HTCC 2601 for March 30 at 7 PM. Location here. There's nothing that's in conflict for this location, is there?
I don't think so.
Okay, just want to make sure.
We rarely have anything in this room at night.
Okay. Then, any further discussion?
What are we calling it?
HGDC 2601.
It's
Is there a
2601.
title or just,
Oh, it's revision of articles
okay,
for, I mean, the whole articles for
not important.
31, 32, 33, 34, 35, and 36.
Sorry, guys.
There's a bunch of them.
Like way more than.
All right. Hearing no further discussion, then all those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye, please.
Aye.
Aye, opposed, no. Okay, the hearing date is set. March 30th at 7 PM. Okay.
Everybody's got their calendar out. Don't forget there's a noodle dinner on the 27th.
Get your chicken noodle dinner on Friday before. And see, that's still in Lent, so some folks won't go, they don't come
Yeah.
for the chicken to go.
But we'll have another one on
Gonna have fish?
May 1st. Yeah, we've talked about fish fries, but we just don't have the capacity to.
Yeah,
That
it'd
much.
be a hard thing to do. It really is a hard thing to do,
Yeah.
trying to do that much fish.
We,
yeah.
we can't handle that. So we'll have another one after Lent on May 1st for May Day.
Okay, just want to get this on my calendar right now so I don't forget to do it. Okay. Sorry, losing your.
That's okay.
I have to.
Actually,
I've just lost mine somehow. I don't know how I did it. Revision of the Harlem Township Comprehensive Plan. The trustees have basically authorized me to contact and requested that I contact the regional planning to participate with us and provide us with assistance as we would move that process forward. Scott has developed a contract and has submitted it. It is going to the trustees for their consideration. The scope of services that are going to be provided is going to go through the existing plan, the comprehensive plan from 2020, update background information, the maps and the statistical tables that are in there so that it becomes current. utilize the adopted quick strategy guide and strategic plan that was recently developed to update the comprehensive plan. That'll be the basis upon which the revisions are going to be made. Consider the overlays in the zoning resolution and coordinate land use recommendations with those overlays and other resolution details so that as we have a comprehensive plan, it will be consistent with the map. We have to redo the map, obviously, and it'll have to be consistent with what is within the right now, the existing comprehensive plan includes overlays as they are currently adopted. So there will be potential for consideration of those overlays in terms of changing some of that. But that would have to be done before then we would adopt the comprehensive plan, but it'll be part of the process. They will, Scott or an assistant will be attending the meetings when they are requested. And then if there are other things that we identify that need to be addressed, then we will have the opportunity to do that. But so this time around, we're not going to be doing some of the things that we've done in the past when we've developed the comprehensive plan. So that will go to the trustees. I think that they will be given consideration to adopting that and approving a contract for regional planning to move forward with us at their meeting this month. Because the goal initially was stated they wanted to have it completed by January of 2027. So in discussions with Scott, he talked about the timeline being 8 to 10 months. So if we get it approved and we start in April, that's 9 months till January. Whether we get it completed in 9 months, probably we'll end up stretching it into January of 2027 would be my guess.
Did Scott, when 8 to 10 months, did he give you an hourly estimate? How many hours he's gonna have to put into it, or he's just saying it'll be done, he thinks?
No, he's got a dollar amount that's set for the contract.
Okay,
And the hours then will be charged against, we have 26 hours that we would normally get with no additional charge. And then he's got a dollar amount in there of $8,000 that he's proposing to cover the additional work that will need to be done.
Money well spent.
Oh, yeah.
yes.
Yeah,
The bargain.
yes, I don't think so.
I'll take it.
So at this point, that I'm anticipating in this process will move forward.
And we're gonna do it at our workshop meetings, or?
Yes, Scott will come and that's what we'll be doing. We'll be using our workshop meetings. If there's a need for other additional meetings, because we have properties that are coming in that we have to schedule any opportunity to do any additional follow-up, like we're scheduling the meeting on the 30th. That's going to be a short one. We could do the same thing if there's a need to do that.
Okay,
But the plan will be for Scott to come and work with us at our workshop meetings. Yes. So the first workshop meeting would be
Great.
that potentially we could begin to do the work, would be the first workshop meeting in April,
April 13th.
April 13th. Oh, it's not a Friday. That's good.
This month we got a Friday 13.
Yeah, this in March we do. All right. Last item, update on the Miller property. Well, Joni and I attended a meeting. Joni, I'll let you talk first about that meeting.
Let's see. They're still looking at trying to stick 552 dwelling units on about 64 acres. They still have to do road what do you call it? Engineer studies for the road stuff.
Alignment.
Yeah, they did not present us with any of that. The traffic study. It has to be a study for Franklin and Delaware counties.
Who was at the meeting? It was just with the developer or?
The developer and his, the guy who's doing his planning. I don't have the list of names. And Holly,
No, I don't have a list of names either.
John.
um,
Well, we had
Oh, sure.
representation, there were only two people actually associated specifically with the property there, and that was Miller and his architect, whoever the consultant was that he's working with. That was it. Then we had representation from regional planning, we had representation from Delaware County Water and Sewer. We
engineer.
didn't have a representative, and yeah, the engineer's office. We did not have a representative from Franklin County Engineer's Office, but they did submit information to indicate to the developer that they too require a traffic study. So both Delaware and Franklin County Engineer's Office are requiring this traffic study. What we would get, meaning for the zoning commission, we won't necessarily have the detailed traffic study that they're going to have before we would start the process of receiving an application. But before they could ever get approval, they would have to get that kind of detailed information to the county engineer's office. What we will need, and the Delaware County engineer agreed that they would provide that information for us once they would provide at least the concept about the streets and how they're going to handle coming in off of Harlem Road. And they're going to, Delaware County is looking at that in terms of widening it. So that will impact the plan, and because it impacts where the buffer then will be required, because it will start at the right of way. And once they give us that, so whether there's how many
Yeah,
lanes are going to be there and
I'm
exactly
not
where.
sure that that's true, because the resolution calls for a standard dimension off of each major arterial. So we're saying off of Harlem Road, I think it's 70 feet from the center line, no matter how wide Harlem Road is. So we already know where the edge is.
No, not necessarily. They're potentially going to change that road. They may be
Coming off
moving.
the-
That's what
They're
that's
gonna
what the
extend
engineer.
Mother's Road eastward a little bit, so that will be another entrance into this development.
So what has to happen though is the information has to come in. Mike has to be satisfied with it before they can submit an application. And at this point, he doesn't have it yet.
Yeah.
So,
So if you want to look at this, this is what they gave us at this meeting. Showing which areas have apartments, which have the commercial under some apartments, and then there's duplexes, there's an assisted living facility.
and one of the
What they're
things,
not doing, which kind of really bothers me, is that they've come up with this layout, but they have not done a site layout for us that shows existing features. So we don't know if they're preserving anything. They haven't done archaeological surveys, they haven't done biological surveys, they haven't done the EPA stuff. They still don't know what they're doing with that little roadway that goes to the package plant.
Yeah, I was gonna ask if did that come up at all?
oh yeah,
It came up a lot.
That there's a parcel that
Divides theirs.
divides, there's actual,
Actually divides that, and
Yeah.
they're like, oh, does that really do that? Oh, I don't,
so they didn't even know that
And
they
it-
have
well, I think they were,
the simple property.
ignore that part.
yeah, that was discussed, and also the location of the exit on the other end for the fire department. It will be a requirement. They can't not plan to have.
They have to have an exit on Fancher.
Yeah, they have to have an exit on the other end of it. They can't just have one way in and out.
But that exit entrance will only be for emergency vehicles, not necessarily for
Right.
people who live there.
That would be acceptable. And we did point out that it would be, and the county engineer said the same thing. I pointed out that for the township, it would, they could, if they tried to make that a street, it would probably get denied because of safety concerns. Because we've denied a previous request
It comes right into.
directly
a
across the
blind
street.
spot.
Yeah.
And the county engineer basically said the same thing.
Yeah, but then he was also saying, well, we really need to get rid of that hill for the cemetery.
That's what
And
the
like-
county engineer said. So they're talking about taking that hill out.
There were.
Well, and they do what they do, you know,
They
in
move them.
terms of, they go
They-
in, they take that all out and they build walls
It's
to
ugly.
hold back
It's-
the,
It's an
uh,
ugly process.
where they've done the excavating. They, I mean, the county's done that in some places, so.
Visit the cemetery.
And then access to the cemetery would be different too. So I don't know how that'll end up being resolved. We talked about the possibility of them moving the location of that and getting it
Yeah.
into a different location. And the fire department is very much in favor of that.
Yeah.
So is the
Well,
county
it-
engineer.
Yeah.
But of course,
At a different, like, I think they were talking about through here.
yeah,
They
that's,
like it a lot
that
better.
would be the ideal location according to the, at least the fire department. And the county engineer chimed in, as I remember, saying that
Yeah.
would be good from their perspective as well. Yeah, it'd have to go through the trailer park. The,
So I would think, since it will be very costly for the trailer park to tap into the sewer, you know, trailer park can give them this land of the package plant and the access road to it in exchange for
Water,
know,
sewer.
Tap fees.
tap fees, yeah. I mean, there's lots of things they could do if they were willing to.
yeah, the question is, what will they be willing to do?
That's always the question with developers.
So at this point, we're now waiting for them to come up with, first, the traffic study. Before anything else will happen, they have to get that completed. And they have to get that information to Mike. Before they can consider submitting an application. And then once they start getting into an application, there's a lot of things that were pointed out to them, things like, well, we're gonna need to know heights. We can't just say it's gonna be 2 stories or 3 stories. How high are things going to be? What are the widths of the streets? Yeah, and then there was discussion
How
about
many
in the,
parking spots for each?
yeah, the number of parking spaces. All of those things were
And
brought
in a
up.
lot of cases, they may not have enough parking spaces for each building that they're drawing on these things.
Right.
So they're not using it. Just, it's gonna be a full.
No, they are using.
It is the,
Oh, no, they're using an overlay.
it's the only way they could do anything there.
I'm sorry.
I think that's the only way they could do
Well, they'd have
anything
to
there.
Do the whole zone variance change, the whole zone change. They could do that.
Yes, but if you're gonna put this many buildings in, it's only gonna be doable with an overlay.
There's nothing in the township, there's no zoning in the township other than, I suppose, a planned residential. Yes, they potentially could consider that, but
But it wouldn't give them this
No.
many.
my expectation on that would be that, you know, they wouldn't get approval. And then there'd be enough people in the township upset about it that it would end up on the ballot. If they, so they're using the MU.
Okay, thank you, that's what I was asking.
Yeah, they're using the article for mixed use
And
development.
I think it's at
On the
UB.
west side.
Thank
Yeah.
Yeah. very west side.
And this is the only area that was identified for 12, up to 12 units.
Yeah.
It was basically this acreage. And nothing to the further to the west and nothing further to the east. It went down
Or to the
to
north.
8, I think it's to 8 units, isn't it? When you go further east.
Yeah. It goes down to 8.
So
The other thing that was identified, and they seem to be amenable to it, meaning the developer, that street that they were showing in front of the buildings, just beyond the buffer, getting rid of it so that there wouldn't be a street in front of the buildings or a private drive, whatever it might be. and just have one entrance into that area for the development instead of two. Because on this plan, they show two, one in front of the buildings and one in between the buildings. They were going to get rid of the one in the front so that there would be no street in front of the buildings other than out here on Harlem Road. And then they have to enter into the development and then go into the one entrance that would
Yeah.
be provided. So,
They did say that those commercial things in that front section off Harlem would be open to the public commercial, not just commercial for the
Oh, yeah.
development.
But there's only gonna be that one entrance off the traffic circle.
that wasn't finalized one way or the other.
Okay.
What they
They
need
could
to,
have,
they need to, yeah, they were talking about, they were gonna have to move this water area here a little bit further away from here, because they were gonna widen this and extend to Smothers.
yes, and the other thing that came out, was the sewer, Delaware County Sewer indicated
right.
that
They
they would
want-
need to provide an area, up on the northern side where this water is up here on the north side. They'd have to, they can't put water there because that's where they're going to be doing the work in terms of, creating access to the new, septic system or septic sewer that they're putting in. So
Septic.
there's a lot
Well,
of doing.
ju- Sewer.
Sewer,
The sanitary
Uh,
system.
sanitary sewer, okay, I said septic.
So, yeah, both of these corner areas, they thought they might need to
Either
improve on.
from two different sources, the
Yeah,
Delaware County Sanitary Department and then the county engineer. They have concerns about those water areas.
And there's gotta be a 200-foot woodland buffer off of Harlem.
200 foot, yes, and we pointed that out to them, that it wasn't there, and what are you gonna do about it? Well, I didn't say that
I
specifically,
think they're trying
it's
to,
not
I
there.
think they're trying to pack too much.
well, I thought we.
10 pounds of potatoes in a 5-pound sack.
Well, and I also, one of the things I asked about, because it concerned me when they did it in first place, which was like 6 years ago now when they did it. That landfill that they put in,
Hmm.
that, you gonna remove all that? Or are you planning on putting these structures on top of that? Because if it's gonna be on top of that, I think that's a problem. You already raised it up 6 to 8 feet above.
It's at least 8 feet, and they're gonna have to dig that out if they're gonna put a water feature in that corner anyway.
Yeah, what are they gonna do? So anyway, that's a big issue to me too. What are they gonna do that? And I said, you made reference to wetlands. Well, you filled in the wetlands. There used to be some wetlands there, but you filled it in. So, I don't know. There's a lot.
I think there's
Here.
still some in this,
There may be some wetlands back
in
here.
that package plant, I think is. kind of
What's
a
your
way-
estimation of how soon we'll see something? That's to a point that's worth reviewing.
I don't know. There's no other informal meetings that are planned.
No, but
Uh,
we don't hear about them until, a couple of weeks beforehand.
Typically,
So,
that's the way it has been.
yeah,
And at this point, if
And-
they are going to request it, it would go through, it would either come through Mike or it would come through Holly.
Mhm.
But they did have it pointed out to them that future communications need to involve Mike Canada.
Mhm.
So that hadn't been said to them previously either, but it was at this meeting.
And Mike has been attending the two
Oh, yes, he's
Yeah.
been in attendance at both meetings.
And-
Do you know that word?
And,
and made clear that, in order to get a permit, they were gonna have to do some things that they weren't considering yet.
yes. They thought they were ready to submit an application. It was made clear to them that no, they're
They're
not
not
ready
even
to do
close.
that.
Yeah.
We'll keep you posted if we
Yeah.
hear anything else.
But it is still really bothering me that they're coming up with all these layouts and stuff, and they have not even presented us with a map of what the existing.
Existing survey.
Yeah,
soil types.
and I'm not sure, I was gonna look to see specifically.
Requirement in, you know,
Yeah, the trip generation and connectivity memo is right there, yeah, that they would need to do that. Before they would submit an application. And then, where, an explanation of the method proposed, no, that's not what I want. I don't know, exactly where that language is that you're trying, that you're making reference to.
um,
And I was looking to see what it was that was required and when it was required. It may not be required until they actually are submitting the application.
page 3406D. Or three. Yeah, it's 3102, and then there's also stuff on 3406.
Well, see, and then when you get over to that, 3406 procedure to apply for a mixed use overlay, that's 06.
Yeah, and part D gets into existing features, but so does, 3102, which is all the procedures to apply for a mixed use overlay district in general.
See, an explanation. You're under 3104, is that what you're looking at? Thought it would, this is part of the application, though, that they would be submitting an explanation of the method, structure, and proposed documentation and instruments to be used in order to perpetually, oh, no.
No, not that one.
No, that's the open space, never mind. I'm not sure, that's the reason I was trying to find it, because I wasn't sure.
Tony, were you calling out page numbers or sections?
Both here. Okay. On page 3406, site design standards.
3406,
Yeah,
you mean 31?
no,
Trying to find what you're referring to, and I'm.
page 3406.
Site designs.
Yes.
You're not in procedure, you're in, 34.
Design standards. There was something in
3406.
Yeah,
Application.
right.
Well, 3406 only makes reference back to mixed use overlay. Makes, back to the procedures, I mean.
Page 3406.
Oh, page 3406. I thought you were referring to the section. Under site to standard. Okay. And see this, but this isn't something that they have to turn in before they submit an application. This
but,
is part of the.
But the
application.
pre-application discussions, on page 3101, under 3102, the applicant shall provide a conceptual layout of the proposed development to allow discussion of existing features of the site, environmental limitations of the site, and any utility and transportation related matters.
So they're not even ready for pre-app.
Yeah, we didn't see any of that. We have nothing on existing features of this site.
So that's really what you're referring to.
We're at this stage, yes. But in terms of why they're going to do that, it comes under the site design standards, where they have to show.
They've provided the conceptual layout of the proposed development,
They have
But
provided that.
Nothing.
but they haven't done the other stuff.
Yeah,
They've only kind of said, this is what we want to do, but not what's changing or what won't be
What's-
there.
Well, there's
they're-
nothing here that requires it.
I think.
It says to allow discussion.
Yeah, but you'd think that they would have already done an existing site survey. For whatever application they're gonna submit, they're gonna need to have a site survey that documents existing features. So you'd think they would go ahead and do that. Cause that would be usable in whatever development that gets submitted.
Yep.
Thank you.
Yeah, they've primarily been focused on utility and transportation related matters.
Yeah.
I mean, if it's true that they didn't even realize that
The discussion of
Two
existing
parcels were
features of the site.
they haven't done a site
Well,
study.
yeah,
Yeah, they've got.
what are the existing features of the site?
Weeds and trash.
Yeah. Yeah, there's that 8 foot high pile of.
Well, that was part of what, yeah, that was discussed, only because I don't like what's there, you know, what are you gonna do about it?
There's room.
I mean, can you imagine putting the structures on top of that?
Yeah.
That would be ridiculous.
They'll raise it.
Well, it'd be very unstable. They were you know, somebody came in and they drilled a hole. And I just drive, that's been there. They've got a pipe. You've probably seen it if you've gone by the circle down there on Smothers in Harlem. I don't know why that, but I did drive by there last week. I don't remember what day it was. And there was somebody there then, and they were taking samples out of that.
Mhm.
So I don't know what was happening down below ground and what they were taking then the samples to check further. You know, I pointed out that I know for sure that because I saw it. And when they put that landfill in there, there was a lot of potentially toxic kinds of things going in there, like blacktop.
Yeah. Yeah, there were big
And-
chunks of that.
Yeah, and there was concrete, of course,
Yeah.
and there was steel, still in some of the concrete that went in there, although they probably got rid of most of it before they got it there. But the blacktop was a big concern. So it wasn't material that was being dumped per se, but it was brought in there from a Delaware County site somewhere where the county engineer was putting in a roundabout.
Yeah.
And it wasn't in Harlem Township at that time.
No.
I don't think it was even in Genoa Township. I think it was further west than that. But they had to have somewhere to dump this stuff that they
Took it
would.
as far away as they could, but still in the county.
Yeah,
So
just-
they ended
just-
up,
Just take it to Harlan.
Took it to
Yeah.
the farthest corner of,
Yeah.
you
Okay.
may, I
Nobody's
remember
using that
that, you know, there
anyway, so-
used to be there was a construction landfill down there in Westerville off of Schrock Road, the whole south side. There was like 40
Yeah.
acres in
Yeah,
there
yeah.
along Allen Creek.
Oh,
Apparently they had permission, you know, it operated as a landfill for years. I've been around Westerville long enough to remember that. And now there's buildings there.
Yeah.
They built but they built on top of it. They didn't go above the street, meaning Schrock Road, because Schrock Road was elevated.
Yeah.
But they filled in behind it. So now there's a lot of land over there that's pretty much somewhat level with a lot of schrock once you go down the hill. So I don't know. I thought, well, is that what this guy's gonna plan to do over here? He's gonna bring in and start using all that property for landfill, but that didn't happen. Now we're getting this proposed development, mixed use development. So I don't know what problems, if any, that landfill that he has there is going to cause for construction purposes. but-
not any more than that package plant
Yeah.
is gonna be.
Yeah, well, they
But
made,
according to them, the EPA has granted them, you know, the ability to continue it if they need to.
Who said that?
The water people, was it the Delaware Water and Sewer people who said that?
So I've got the permit and it expires in
well,
July.
they're aware of that.
Yeah, they think,
And
but it's been constantly renewed. It's a,
that's what they basically were making reference to, that they were expected to be renewed.
Yeah, but the renewal,
Not necessarily,
what was that, Bob?
not necessarily. According to Ohio EPA, they have to tap in to sewer if it becomes publicly available. That's clause number 3 in their agreement.
Would behoove this property to not have that package treatment. I mean,
Oh, yeah.
they don't want that there. They're,
Well, no, it's a problem for them to get to the west, or I'm sorry, the east side of their property.
right.
But I'm sure that what they will present to us will be a plan that'll be in phases. And they're gonna be developing this end
West
of it,
end
the
of it,
west
yeah.
end. In phase 1, and then there'll be a phase 2 and probably a phase 3.
Oh.
That'll all be laid out in their development plan.
You ever see it?
Okay. Well,
I don't know how soon we'll see something.
The dates they gave were they hope to finish the plans by the end of 2027 and start construction in 2028. So that is their goal anyway.
Well,
We'll see.
we'll see.
they're waiting in part for the sewer. I mean.
Yeah.
Yeah, if they're gonna build, they need to know exactly where everything's going to be sewer wise, because they gotta put in the infrastructure for that.
They need to know where the sewer, you, where they want.
Okay. Well, thank you all. Anything further? Right.
Second.
All right. Thank you. Moved by Maureen, seconded by Louis. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, no? We're adjourned.